lesson, we are going to learn about what is photosynthesis, site of photosynthesis, and photosynthetic pigments. Okay, so before going into the details, let's learn about what are the importance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis plays a major role in increasing oxygen level and decreasing carbon dioxide level, produces energy in the form of ATP, produces food for primary consumers, and produces complex compound in the form of starch, cellulose, and lignin. So coming to this slide, it explains what is photosynthesis. So if you observe the plant, what it is doing, it is utilizing sunlight, carbon dioxide and water to produce food molecule. And it is simply represented with a molecular formula, that is 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, producing carbohydrate, that is C6H12O6 plus oxygen. Okay, so coming to the definition, so the photosynthesis involves in converting the solar energy to the glucose, and here autotrophs plays a major role in photosynthesis. So the examples of autotrophs are plants, algae, and photosynthetic bacteria. And here this photosynthesis is known as endorganic anabolic reaction. So what is an endorganic? It is nothing but utilizing energy, and anabolic means synthesis. So here photosynthesis, what it is doing, the plants utilizing the energy released from the solar or sun, and they are converting that energy into the food molecule. So it is known as endorganic anabolic reaction. And coming to the end products, after synthesizing, it releases sugar and oxygen. So in photosynthesis, oxygen is considered as the waste product. So, and apart from that, endorganic anabolic reaction, photosynthesis is also known as assimilatory process and oxidation reduction process. So, what is assimilatory process? Actually, in photosynthesis, the solar energy is being converted into chemical energy, and this chemical energy is nothing but the assimilatory powers. So, the assimilatory powers are ATP and NADPH2. So, photosynthesis is known as assimilatory process. And coming to the oxidation reduction process, here what happens is water is being oxidized to oxygen and carbon dioxide is being reduced to the carbohydrate. So it is also known as oxidation reduction process. Coming to the site of photosynthesis. Okay, so if you observe in this picture, so the photosynthesis takes place in an organelle known as chloroplast, and it is present in the mesophyll cells of the leaves. Okay, and in this both the dark reaction and light reaction takes place. So chloroplasts are green in color, discoid or ellipsoidal in shape, measuring of about 4 to 6 micrometers in length and 1 to 3 micrometers in thickness. Coming to this structure, okay, so it contains an outer membrane, inner membrane. These two membranes are separated by slow space known as intermembrane space, and it contains space inside the inner membrane, that is known as stroma. This stroma contains thylakoids. A group of thylakoids is known as granum. Thylakoid, thylakoid of one granum is being connected to the thylakoid of another granum with the help of stroma lamella. So this stroma lamella is also known as Friet lamella or intergranum. Okay. If you observe in this slide, that light reaction takes place in the thylakoid membrane. Stack of thylakoids are known as granum, and dark reaction takes place in the stroma. Coming to the stroma. The stroma is considered as colloidal colorless matrix. It contains enzymes for dark reactions, 70S ribosomes, DNA and RNA, and osmophilic granules made up of vitamin K. And coming to the functions, it involves in fixing the carbon dioxide in dark reaction. ADP and NADP are produced, which is necessary for light reaction, and C3 and C4 cycle takes place in your stroma. Next, coming to the thylakoid and granum. So as I said before, granum are nothing but the group of thylakoids, okay, or the stack of thylakoids. Next, thylakoid contains a membrane known as thylakoid membrane surrounding a lumen known as, or space known as, thylakoid lumen. And coming to the functions, so the thylakoids, in thylakoids, ADP and NADPH are produced in the presence of light. Photolysis of water takes place. cyclic and non-cyclic photofossilization takes place. Okay. Coming to the mechanism of photosynthesis. So in the year of 1905, Blackman explained that photosynthesis are of two types, light reaction and dark reaction. So the light reaction is also known as light dependent phase or photochemical phase. Dark reaction is also known as dark phase or light independent phase. So before going into the details about this mechanism, first we have to learn about what are the types of photosynthetic pigments, nature of light, and then we are going to learn about light reaction and later followed by the dark reaction. And basing upon the oxygen released during the light reaction, it is of two types, oxygenic photosynthesis and anoxygenic photosynthesis. So coming to the examples of oxygenic photosynthesis, they are of two types, green eukaryotes and cyanobacteria, whereas photosynthetic bacteria is considered as an example of anoxygenic photosynthesis. Coming to the molecular formula of oxygenic photosynthesis, carbon dioxide when reacts with the water, it produces sugar. Along with the sugar, the waste product released here is oxygen. Whereas in case of anoxygenic photosynthesis, sulfur is being released instead of the oxygen. Okay. So coming to the photosynthetic pigments. So the photosynthetic pigments main function is to capture the light energy which is useful for photosynthesis, and these are present in the chloroplast of plants and photosynthetic bacteria, and they are of three types, chlorophylls, carotenoids and phycobilins. In this class we are going to learn in detail about carotenoids and phycobilins. So coming to the carotenoids, so these occur or these present in the thylakoid membrane and appear yellow or red orange in color. Yellow colored carotenoids examples are lutein, zeaxanthin and beta cryptoxanthin. Whereas coming to the red orange, beta carotene, alpha carotene and lycopene are the examples of the red orange. Okay, these are considered as the secondary light absorbing pigments or accessory pigments. Why? Because these acting as the supplementary light receptors. Okay, and these absorbs the wavelength which are not absorbed by the chlorophylls. So that is the reason they are considered as secondary light absorbing pigments, and these are tetraterpenoids. And coming to the types, carotenes, means carotenoids are of two types. They are carotenes and xanthophylls. Carotenes are red or orange in color with a molecular formula that is C40H56, whereas xanthophylls are yellow in color, that is C40H56O2. Okay. So coming to the functions. So the first primary function of carotenoids are they are protecting the chlorophyll against photooxidation, and actually they are acting as an antioxidant products. Means what? Antioxidant means they are the substance that inhibits oxidation. So what is oxidation? It is nothing but a chemical reaction that produces free radicals, leads to the damage of the cells. Okay. So here photooxidation means what? They are preventing the oxidation that is caused during the light or with the help of light. So they are considered as antioxidants. They also help in photodynamic damage, and also carotenoids are able to express themselves in mature leaves even if chlorophyll begins to disintegrate. And another major important of chlorophylls is that they are producing provitamin. So what will happen, or why they what is the use of producing provitamin A? So this provitamin A when consumed, what happens there? It is converting into vitamin A in the intestine or liver. So we know that the vitamin A is useful for eye health, healthy mucous membrane and immunity. So basing upon that, or basing upon the production of provitamin A, okay, there are of two types, provitamin A and non-provitamin A products. So the examples of provitamin A are alpha carotene, beta carotene and beta cryptoxanthin, whereas the examples of non-provitamin are lutein, zeaxanthin and lycopene. Okay, so the structure of various types of carotenoids. So alpha carotene, beta carotene, alpha cryptoxanthin, beta cryptoxanthin, lutein, and zeaxanthin. Next, coming to the phycobilins. So these occur in the stroma of the chloroplast. So previously the thylakoid, whereas the phycobilins occurs in the stroma. Coming to the structure, these are considered as the open chain tetrapyroles. What is tetrapyrrole? It is nothing but which lacks magnesium and phytol chain. Okay. The phycobilins are especially efficient at absorbing at red, orange, yellow, and green light wavelengths that are not well absorbed by the chlorophyll A. And they are of two types, phycoerythrobilin and phycocyanobilin. So the phycocyanobilin is observed in blue-green algae, whereas phycoerythrobilin is observed in red algae. And coming to the structure, so the phycobilins are covalently linked to specific binding proteins, forming phycobiliproteins, which associate to form highly ordered complex called as phycobilosomes that constitute the primary light harvesting structure in the microorganisms like green algae and red algae. These are considered as the water soluble pigments. Okay, so this is the structure of your phycoerythrobilin and phycocyanobilin. Sorry. Thank you for watching this video.